Hello everyone and welcome to Tasmania. Now today's story hits really hard, especially for me, and if you're a young woman here in Wales where this case took place. So this is the story of Lily Sullivan. So Lily was a 18-year-old from Wales. Just like your regular 18-year-old, went for a night out in December 2021 and never went home. Lily was from quite a local town to me called Pembroke here in West Wales. And by all accounts, she was exactly what you'd expect from someone her age. Very kind, very social, creative, excited about life. Her family described her as someone who was very warm, very trusting, and just full of personality. That she enjoyed being with her friends, going on night out, like 18-year-olds will do. And she was just a young, full of life girl who just was enjoying her time being young. Something about it just makes it more unsettling, that she wasn't someone living this risky life. She wasn't looking for trouble. She was just your regular 18-year-old. So on the night of December 16th, 2021, Lily went out with friends to a local nightclub in Pembroke. Just your normal night out with friends, and her mum was going to pick her up later that night. At some point during the night, Lily crossed paths with a man named Lewis Haynes. He was 31, it's more than a decade older than her. He was also a father already, lived local. He was a local man and worked at an oil refinery. Just seemingly your typical dude. So CCTV later actually caught the two of them leaving a nightclub early in the morning. And at first glance, everything seemed normal. Nothing was out of the ordinary. After leaving the club, Lily and Lewis walked together down a lane near a place called Mill Pond. It was a place that it wasn't well lit. It was practically deserted at that time of the night. According to the evidence that was presented in court, at some point during the night on that walk, it got uncomfortable when Lewis started making sexual advances towards Lily, and she rejected. And it's exactly that, where there always seems to be an issue, is with the rejection. It's why women are so scared a lot of the time to reject men, because what I'm about to tell you is a very real reality that women face if they reject a man. The court heard that Lily made it very clear that she was uncomfortable and she wanted to leave, and even threatened to report him for his behaviour. But instead of backing off, Lewis Haynes became violent. And what happened next, it was brutal, and he attacked Lily. He hit her and strangled her, and at some point during the attack, she lost consciousness. So instead of doing anything to save her, instead of doing anything to get help, he dragged her body to the pond and pushed her into the water. And then he left. And one of the most chilling details of this case is that after this, Lewis actually walked past Lily's own mother, who was waiting to pick her up, completely unaware of what had just happened to her own daughter. In the early hours of December 17th, police were called to an incident at Mill Pond. When emergency services arrived on scene, they found Lily's body, pulled her out, and obviously at that point, despite their attempts to save her, it was too late and she was pronounced dead. Her cause of death was identified as strangulation. Again, she was 18. The police immediately launched a murder investigation, and it wasn't that long until suspicion fell on Lewis Haynes. CCTV footage, witness accounts, forensic evidence, it all pointed towards Lewis, and he was arrested within days. First, he tried to downplay what he had done and initially pleaded guilty to manslaughter and not murder. However, as the evidence mounted up against him and the reality of what he had done was undeniable, he eventually changed his plea and admitted to murdering Lily. In court, thankfully, the judge made it very clear that this was no accident. The killing was deliberate and violent, and the judge concluded that Lily was murdered because Haynes wanted to silence her, because she had threatened to report him. And despite Haynes denying the fact that the attack was sexually motivated, the court ruled that it was. So in August of 2022, Lewis Haynes was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 23 years and 4 months before he could be considered for parole. So Lily's family has spoken openly about the devastation that this has caused. Her mum has said how she replays that night over and over again, knowing that she was so close to her daughter but completely unaware of what was happening to her. Her death did spark these renewed conversations across Wales and the UK about violence against young women, about age gaps and how vulnerable young women are, even on what feels like just a normal night out. Lily Sullivan, she didn't do anything wrong. She trusted someone she shouldn't have any reason to fear. She set boundaries, she tried to leave, and that killed her. Because for some reason, there's a lot of men out there that just cannot grasp rejection. Justice may have been served in court, but nothing can bring Lily back. If you or someone you know has been affected by violence or abuse, help is available. Please remember that. I will leave links in the description to different resources that can, hopefully one will help. Thank you for listening and for remembering Lily.